Right, part 2. It's not got the timer on it for some weird reason, so that's a bit... Oh, there it is. It's because the flap was over it. That's weird. Right, anyway. So I think it's in 2 parts, because you think about it, all of that bit was, yeah, it was a bit for people that have to have extra compassion and extra understanding and extra empathy. Again, not with everyone. Be discerning. If people are being really out of order with you, you have to create a boundary. Even with the people that you love, you know they're going to come out as darkness, you create a boundary. And again, like I said, if people get really pissed off or butthurt, really, which is when your ego's hurt, it's butthurt, isn't it? That's what they say. It's your ego. Like, think about it. Anybody that knows their stuff, it's the death of your ego. If you can laugh stuff off when, so, you know, you don't laugh. I don't mean laugh at people when they're angry, because you're just gonna fucking hell. That's really make me laugh, right? Because actually, it's like I'm using situations that have happened with other people close around in my life, like friendships. But that made me laugh when I said that, because that actually does remind me. That reminds me of what my twin flame used to do to me. Like, there was a situation. I've said this before. I won't go into total details, but it was many, many years ago, and I remember I was fucking raging. And again, it's because of how strong my feelings for him were and still are. And I kept saying, "Look, I don't want you to sleep with you." Like, and I wasn't saying I love you, right? Because, like, he wasn't reciprocating it back, right? So I'm not exactly going to be like, "I fucking love you." Do you mean? But he knew I did. And so I was just kind of like, "Look, I like you more than just sleeping with you. So if you want to, like, basically, I suppose I was basically saying, like, can we just, like, develop this a wee bit more, even into a friendship?" That's not what I fucking wanted. I fancy him too much. But do you know what I'm saying? It's like, either I want more or I want nothing. And that's what I'm like. You know what I mean? I'm very just straight down the line. And I actually just thought that was my personality at the time, because it kind of is. But if you think about it, it's because I'm here to teach people about boundaries, ironically, which is what I'm saying. If you have an issue with a boundary, other people do, that is an issue in itself. You know what I mean? It's why even when I can see people in a dark place, I say the same thing. So if anybody's sleeping on this that happens to be them, they'll know that I say, "Look, I love you, I'm here for you, but I have to look after my own energy now, because it's fucking exhausting." And I done my time. I was in my own dark night soul, and I help people with this for my work. So when it happens in my personal life and it crosses over, it's really stressful, and I can fucking do without it. Sorry, I can get past it, but it's true. It's Aries season. And that goes for you if that resonated that bit. You know, don't put up with all that shit. I don't care if it's a family member, a friend, whatever. You're not there to be a punching bag, emotionally, mentally, definitely not physically, spiritually. You know what I'm saying? Look after yourself. And you'll be put in positions where you have to look after yourself. And that brings me back to what I was saying about the twin flame. Your twin flame, I said it in the shorts recently, but your twin flame is your greatest teacher. They will really teach you how to love yourself, but it won't be in the way that you think a lot of the time. It will be in the way that if they're in that place of ego, and, you know, it's just like, right, this person's not open this right now, I've got to love myself and focus on myself. That's why I say you've just got to take someone at their word. You know what I mean? You don't, whether it's a friend that's acting weird and falling out of you and you don't get it and this is all very strange, or whether it's a family member that's acting really funny and going weird, and I make no secret of it that when I was in my dark night of soul, I really upset my mum. And I was being very suspicious. Mind you, to be fair, my mum would admit that. To be fair, but what I was suspicious about, I was actually right, because she was kind of worried about. She was kind of worried about how strong my feelings were for my twin flame. Do you know what I mean? But actually, now she's so supportive. She really gets it, like, because she's listened to me and she understands. And over time, the other day. Can I just say, actually, when we went, so that was 3 weeks ago tomorrow. It was 2 weeks ago. When I was uptown with my mum, the amount of synchronicities that happened. I walked past a buzzer, saw my twin flame surname on the buzzer, we homed in on it, exact same spelling, everything, and I was like, what the actual fuck? And it was right after I'd been talking about kissing him down a lane, which was one of my favourite memories. Very innocent, that, isn't it? There's not a lot of innocent things about him, but it's I'm joking, it is innocent, but you know what I'm saying, it was racier. And because whenever we saw each other, to be honest, we always went home with each other. He'd always come back to mine. Do you know what I mean? Because that's how passionate we were about each other. But that particular night, we were kissing down a lane. I shit you not. I then walked past a plaque that had something about twin. I don't know. It had something about fated twin something. I can't. Don't quote me on that. It says it in the thing. I'll post the picture in the community tab. My mum couldn't fucking believe it, because only her and me know that I was telling a story about kissing him down a lane, and the plaque was literally about two lovers down a lane. I couldn't fucking... and I've no idea who these people are, by the way. I'd never seen that plaque before. It's just the shit that happens to me. And I could go on and on and on. We were sitting having breakfast, and I'd asked for a sign, right? And the song that came on was the song that was on when I met my twin flame. And the reason why that's important, and he won't like me saying this, but it's fucking true. He randomly asked me one morning, right, when we were both hungover, when he was at my house, he said, can you remember... he said something like, can you remember any of the songs that were on or that when we met? And you know what I mean? Again, why did he ask that? The fucking jury's out, right? But I think it's because he was wanting to see how much I remember about when I met him or something like that. But I do. I remember what was on. For some reason, I'm dyslexic. I remember, and that song came on, and do you know, like, my eyes filled up with water, and I didn't, burst out crying, but my eyes filled up, and I was just like, oh my God, thank you so much. And my mum was like, God, that really has touched you. And she was kind of like, what the hell? But I mean, I am an emotional person anyway. But it was just, out of all the songs that could have came on, that was really... And it's so funny, because I'm not going to tell you what one it is, but it's not like a big romantic one or anything. It just makes me laugh what it is, because it's a song that I'd loved from a wee girl, from a film, actually. I'll tell you further down the line. But anyway, it was just amazing. The synchronicities were fucking mind-blowing from the whole day, and it's even more amazing when there's someone there to witness it. And again, anybody that's been in my company personally, like I remember when I went to London as well, the same thing happened. I was with one of you guys for a couple of hours, and she couldn't believe either. You know who you are. She couldn't believe it either. And again, everyone I'm sort of saying this about, like, different people can't, either can't comment or don't comment on that and don't want it and stuff. So it's just, but I know that people know who they are. Anybody that's been in my company knows how, or any of my best friends that are tuning into this that, don't tend to, comment as well. It's like, they'll know as well. It's crazy. It's fucking nuts. And it's all the time. And it's been for years now. So I bet you I'm sharing this, because the thing is, whoever your twin flame is, the same will happen to them. They have to go through their dark night of soul. It's a horrible experience. They'll come out of it the other side a different fucking person. Forgive them. Understand them. Give them love and compassion. Empathy. Believe me, it's what they need. Whether it's your friend that's acting weird, a family member, or your twin flame. Again, I really have to highlight, warning, warning. If it is somebody that has treated you like that, and you've identified that they're a karmic person in your life, which, remember, anyone can be karmic. I know it can make it sound like, oh, somebody's really this bad, horrible person. It's not that, because I can think of people that I identified eventually were karmic energies in my life, and I really do hope they're happy and living their best life, but they're not going to be a part of my life. Do you know what I mean? So that's how strong I am on that. So it's different for different people. And obviously, if that is romantic people, then that's a fucking given. But I'm talking about even... Because what I've seen, sadly, I've seen a lot of people recently that I've helped in the past that got themselves together, were on the straight and narrow, straight and narrow as in they'd got their own energy back and they were being their own person. And then the minute they've spent time around the same karmic people, usually family or other close friends, they've went way backwards. So again, if that's happened to you, then it's just something to notice for yourself. Like, actually, was I happier when I wasn't around all of these people? Or have I fallen back into a comfort zone? And, whatever. What else do I need to say? I just said it. Have compassion, understanding, empathy. You might need to spend quite a bit of time away from... Definitely if it's karmic energies. Okay, so now we're actually talking the twin flames that are in the dark again. If you've noticed karmic energy in your life that are close to you, like I said in one of the shorts, I've helped many people where, depending on the severity, you have to spend months or even up to a year. I mean, it's happened, people I've helped, depending on the circumstances. But even there's been amazing stories with that after you've spent a bit of time away, again, soul retrieval, gathering your soul pieces back with a shaman, which is what all my clients have done with me. And you can do that for yourself as well. I empower people to do that for yourself. It's just my clients tend to come back again and again and again, because you always need someone to hold space for you. And why wouldn't you want somebody to trust that's helped you through the darkest of your life to help you when when you need it? That's why people come back to me year after year after year. And I'm honoured and I'm humbled, you know what I mean? that I'm trusted with that. But again, it's with different experiences I've had, it's getting beyond the jokes. It's getting too much. Like, it's like when I let people really close into my life and how they do that to me. I know it's part of my purpose, but it's really, again, stressing why I need my divine masculine. Like, I'm going to keep saying it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I've got my own inner divine masculine, but I want and I need him. Like, you know, a lot of twin flames out there will give it the big one, like, I don't need him, I just want him. Yeah, well, that might be true to a certain extent, but I'm actually saying, no, I do need him, but not in a needy, codependent way. I need him because he's going to understand more than anyone what I'm going through, because he's the other half of my soul. And I want to be able to be there for him as well. Anyway, that's that bit. That was a bit kind of, I don't know what to call that, but that was something. What's this one? Oh, look at this. Fucking hell. Right, so again, going back to the people that you've got to have understanding, compassion. What's that? Is that a hair's kind of going in front of the lens? Oh, there we go. No wonder my fucking hair's, I'm fucking tearing my hair out with the fucking stressful shit that's going. Again, I'm only joking. I'm not joking. There are stressful situations that are coming at me, but they're not going to stress me out for very long, 11/11, because yeah, I take a step back. And like I say, it helps me to transmute it in this way, because again, I'm keeping this all anonymous, but it helps people because I know it's not just me going through it. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. So everybody that you know you're part of creating the new earth, keep holding the vision, right? Because the people that are in the darkness will come out of the darkness, and everybody needs to. You need to do that. It's not, you know, it's not a time for giving it the old fuck you and all that. No matter how much you might want to. If you're in the dark night soul, that's understandable. I want to tell everyone to fuck off. And that's why I keep leaning into, oh man, yeah. You know what I mean? I never forget that. I just never ever forget how much of a dark place I was in. Like I said, you know, it was very, I know it was very, my mum and dad were absolutely amazing with me when I was in that place. I mean, because it really was like, I was just, yeah, in such a dark, basically, yeah, it was just in such a dark place. It was consuming my life. But yeah, I came out of it, and a lot of that, again, I stopped drinking as well. I had to stop drinking because that would have just, I would have wound up dead or something, trust me, because it's like I was in such a dark place that you're so disassociated, actually, to be honest. That's something I'm noticing as well, is not only do a lot of people out there need soul retrieval, everyone, and you need to like keep doing it, that soul retrieval to me basically is also disassociated. And there's a lot of people that are majorly disassociated, and there's actually, sadly, a lot of people that are majorly disassociated helping people out there on the twin flame journey, which is really concerning. So, yeah, basically, I suppose that's that. Do we even need to pull another card? What do the people that are going through the challenges of people that are in their dark night soul, like, what do they need to know? See if it says something about gentleness, compassion, or inner child. I'm not really surprised. The Rose of the Venus, alignment, flow, right relationship, harmony. I know exactly what they're saying. If the same thing has happened to you, it's happened to me, it's because that is aligning. You're aligning with your twin flame, right? You're aligning with the right relationship after you've either been in wrong karmic relationships, like, not wrong, because nothing's ever wrong, it's a lesson, but lessons, like, say it's a romantic relationship. It's hard to say that for me because that's not the case. But again, remember, a very, very long time ago, it's just, oh god, I can't even, actually, that's funny. I woke up this morning at 5 a.m. and wrote for an hour about all of this. So I think I'll have to make a separate video about that. But it was basically just all about that my experience is a bit different. Like, I've been awakened and conscious of being a twin flame for 13 years this year. And I've known my twin flame for 20 years this year, I think it is. And I've been in what I would say the biggest bit of the separation I would say the biggest bit of the separation has been like 12, 13 years this year, because that's when it went weird from. But I did see him you know what I mean? I've seen him less than that, but like kind of, you know, but it was always very awkward, basically. And then whenever I saw him serendipitously, even after that, it was really uncomfortable. I mean, I can't speak for him, but it was very uncomfortable for me, because it was just like, oh my god, like, you're just not prepared for it, and it puts you into a bit of soul shock, and then it'll change your life again. And it'll keep doing that until you face up to your wounds, which is what I started the other video about. But basically, yeah, if shit's kicking off in your life, and look, it got to 1444, it's because you're aligning with your twin flame, right? It might not feel very harmonious, and notice that this is crazy, the full moon next week on the 6th. So what's the date right now? It's the 30th today. Yeah, basically about a week today. Yeah, it's a week today. That's about harmony. It's about harmony and balance. But see how to actually get into that harmony and balance in the twin flame union, a lot of shit kicks off, which is why twins can mistakenly sometimes think their twin is the problem. And those of you in that position, you have to forgive them for that as well, because you can't blame them for thinking that. Because also there'll be a bunch of liars and gossips that have probably said shit about you that they then realise, oh my god, I bet you that wasn't even true. Right, and like I said, if that's fucking been the case for me, I'm just going to sit down with the popcorn and listen to it, and then fucking let it go, basically, and just be happy that he worked it out for himself. And look, I've pulled a card about happiness. You have the right to your joy, peace, sweetness of life. That makes so much... See, now I know that I need to put this out. Again, I always do put it out, but you know what I mean? It's just sometimes I'm like, this is a bit much, but it's kind of like, it's because the energy's a bit much. You have the right to your joy. So anyone in the dark night of soul that is being really unreasonable, not listening, not willing to have a conversation, and they've made their mind up and being quite stubborn and ego and all that, leave them to it, but don't be horrible about it. You know, send them love, but keep it moving. Peace, sweetness of life. And they might even project and mirror it to make it out like you're the one with the problem, but that's part of it. So, you know, that's what you just have to, you know, you have to see through it. Yeah, trust us. Look at this. What is the niggle trying to tell you? Well, the niggle's telling me, whenever these situations are coming up that my clients are going through people, or that I'm noticing in my personal life, whether it be present or past, or that a lot of these things have been not too, you know, they've not too long, they've been recent. It's because of this. It's because we're building new earth. So trust your intuition and protect your own energy. That's all you can do. Ancient power expression, activation, scarlet codes. Yeah, you know what I mean? And that is all about, like, you know, things are going to be said about you that aren't necessarily true. But you've got to speak up and use your voice anyway. And remember, as you do that, ironically, your twin learns to do that as well. The intelligence of the universe lies within you. Again, that's about sharing that ancient knowledge. I feel we need one more. Yeah, and then look, this is, I'm a Blu-ray twin flame, and this is why I get it really rough, because this is why I'm here to get away short and lead the way for people with that. And again, like I said, sadly, lots of other people in similar fields can get very jealous and envious of that. But it doesn't mean they need to stay that way forever. Do the shadow work and you won't be like that. That's why I've helped loads of people with that stuff. Again, I say all the time, and again, maybe down to people's egos or just moving on and not being at the same level, you know, the same level as in they're not vibrating at the same frequency as me anymore. Not everyone's going to admit that. They're not going to be like, oh yeah, Claire helped me through the darkest night of the soul, or the darkest night. That's fucking relevant. Or, you know, they awakened me, or she awakened me on my journey, or she's the very first person that told me I was a twin flame. Because I've helped a lot of people that are in, you know, that have got quite a big bits of attention in that. So it's like they wouldn't want to then refer back to me when I'm just little old me. But it is the truth. You can believe it or not. And it got to my birthday numbers when I said that, 1804. But again, can I just say there's loads of people in that position that have actually been very grateful for it. But there's lots of people that, you know, haven't really said thank you that I can remember. Activation, integration time. Yeah, it's all about activation. Yeah, oh my god, and birthing a new age. It's just not easy. It's not easy, but I'm owning what I'm here to do. And it's like you can say, it's not easy birthing the earth, and I'm just going to start repeating the same things. Birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being, and that's what twin flame unions are about. And like I say, the full moon in Libra, if you're watching this real time, it's about that. Does it mean that all twin flames are coming into balance in physical union? Of course fucking not. We're all in different timelines. It's some of you, and you'll know if that's you. See you later, guys. I'm away to fucking hermit like never before. Hermit and heal. Love yous. Oh, actually, probably not for very long, because it's Leo Moon tomorrow. I'll probably pop up and do a live, but if I don't, then it's probably I just wanted to play and have fun in a different kind of way away from all of this shit. I love you so much, and I hope that you appreciate that I've came on to share this, because I just feel people need answers about this. Because it can be very confusing on either end. If you're in the dark night of soul, or if you're noticing others in it, that's what's happening. Always lean towards compassion, but remember to have that compassion for yourself as well. See you later. Love yous.